Venesha, Phillips.
Labourites, you would have heard Fabian say it. We don't need couscous right now. And that's why we want you to listen. Because right about now, the PNP are frustrated. Why are they frustrated? Because election cycle after election cycle, what they did to Jamaica, and remember I was there, but I couldn't see what I was doing as well, because what we were doing from that platform was just to cost and cost and cost and more cost. What did that do? It turned off right-thinking Jamaicans. It drowned out discussion, because when you have no solution, you just cost and cost and cost, and that is what is happening to them now. Because we have changed the game, Labourites. Never before in the history of this country, any political party have more to campaign on than the Jamaica Labour Party. So when you are in the streets, hold your head up as a proud Labourite, because your government is moving Jamaica forward. Labourites, let me tell you something, and I want you to listen, and this is why it is so important. I watched a clip with Damian Crawford, and he was talking first about ribbon, I soon get to school bus. He was talking about ribbon cutting, and according to him, his daughter's ribbon was cut. But can you imagine in that clip, Minister Mackenzie Damian Crawford said that his daughter have 4 ribbon in her ear. Every mother in your knows a pitney wear 2 ribbon. But because of prosperity, Damian Crawford pitney alone have 4 ribbon. But that's not it alone.
Labourite.
What he said he hired a security for her shoelace. He said he hired a security for her belt, minister, and he hired 4 security for 1 ribbon each. That is prosperity. Under PNP, he would have to be able to guard him daughter himself. But guess what? Because of Dr. Horace Chang, crime is going down. And so his child can walk in peace, because this government is ensuring that we keep Jamaicans safe. The PNP has come with their scaremonger tactics. And Labourites, I want you to listen. When we rolled out the school bus information to protect, we pitney them. Peter Bunting tried to say to Jamaicans that the bus them going kill off, we pitney them. Of course, there are some persons who were concerned, and like any good minister would, Minister Darrell Vaz never just brushed it aside. He took to the street and he went live, and we did tours across some of the constituencies in those buses to demonstrate that we take the safety and protection of our children seriously. That is leadership, not cas. Labourites, let me tell you something. We have a lot of speakers, but they are doing everything they can. They are ripping down posters. They are doing all they can to see if they can get us upset. But them no worry we, because you have message, you have the record of achievement, and you have the vision of your government as to where we are going to take Jamaica next. When I talk, they get upset and say, but you go like you're never over here. Yes, I was over there. But I told Jamaica, and I'm telling you now, thank God for amazing grace. I once was blind, but now I can see. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Shower Labourite.
He's a senator who brings information like no other. I speak of Senator Marlon Morgan.
Thank you, Chairman.
Meeting Chairman Fabian Brown. Let me acknowledge our host MP, Dwayne Smith. And while I'm at it, acknowledge my colleagues on the platform. Labourites, as I drove into Sherlock Crescent this afternoon, Loaded Eagles track rang in my mind. If there were any doubt, Labourites, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, them can't run, them can't hide, them can't do a thing. Andrew Holness, I go mash them up, Labourites.
Them can't hide, them can't do a thing. Labourites, I go mash them up. Yeah, Labourites, why mash them up?
Labourites, many of us have been in this thing called politics for quite some time. And I'm sure many of you will agree with me that we have seen many things in our lifetime. And though the politics is competitive, we have never seen a political competitor before taking issue with the good things them. How can a political party be taking issue with a rural school bus system? And when we listen to them Labourites and hear what they are saying, we have to simply ask them, who make he rum? Them seek to be drinking rum. So we really have to ask them, when them come and criticize ribbon cutting, who make he rum? Because Labourites, when a political party, when a government breaks ground or cuts ribbon, it means that things are happening. Development is happening for the people. Prosperity is coming the people's way. And that is what a government was elected to do. One of the latest things they have come with is a criticism of government communicating and informing you, the people of Jamaica. So they hear some adverts on radio and they may see some on television, and they are complaining that the government is essentially advertising, and they are describing government information and government communication as political advert. But we say to them from this platform in Charlotte this evening, Labourites, mash down those lies, not so. The government has a duty to inform the population, to inform the people of Jamaica. You know why we are interested in informing and communicating to you, Labourites? If the people are not informed, what you will have is a population of people who will go to a place like Hero Circle and do what they did a few weeks ago. The gentleman said, for example, that Dennis Chung is not qualified. Him can only accounts. What can go so, Labourites? So this government, take it, me tell you, say, is unapologetic and unequivocal in communicating its achievements to you and uplifting you, because the narrative that has been peddled for years in this country is that politicians don't do nothing, politicians don't serve the people, and of course that politics don't advance the interests of the people. And with the Andrew Holness-led government leading from the front, Labourites, it is very clear to see that we have been serving the people, we have been acquitting ourselves well, and that is why all the indicators here in Jamaica are pointing in the right direction. The crime, Labourites, murders in particular, is down 43% at the last reading. Labourites, poverty relative to 2021, the last measure in 2023 has indicated that poverty has been cut in half, down from 16.7% to 8.2% Labourites. Unemployment is now at a new historic record low of 3.3% Labourites. Your government is performing for you. And when you consider all of those things, Labourites, many of you, particularly the women among us, you can think of a relationship that you have had when a progress never did there, compared to a relationship that you have had where progress there. You can think of a man who you did there with, and you were oppressed, downtrodden and depressed. You did look chaka chaka. Your hair never on fleek. Your nails never do. You were stressed. You were depressed. Nothing never go on for you. And then came along a better man. And with that better man, you start step up in a life. You just a step up in a life. Jamaica right now is a lot like that. So Labourites, under them, Jamaica on the new tax pan, top of tax pan, top of tax. Jamaica new murder scourge. And in 2024, we became the murder, 2005 rather, we became the murder capital of the world. And that was under the PNP. Inflation is what we knew when they were in charge. When they were in charge, unemployment, particularly youth unemployment, is what we knew when the PNP held the reins of this country. When they were there, job opportunities were few. Inflation ran high. We had a sliding dollar, unstable exchange rate, and of course, 40,000 businesses went under as a result of FinSac and the financial sector meltdown of the mid to late 1990s. But at present, Labourites, we just a step up, we just a glow, we just a flourish. Our friends from around the world are hailing us here in Jamaica as a beacon of hope in the Caribbean, and we are proud of that. Unemployment, as I said before, is at a new record low. Business and consumer confidence is high, and that means something for you because it means that you're closer to opportunity to actualize and, of course, step up in life. And so, Labourites, when you consider Jamaica under the PNP versus Jamaica under the JLP, it is simply chalk to cheese. And we have to say to Jamaica this evening, as she's looking better with our new man in the JLP, muggle pan you one time, man. Him can't come take when name did give you. Post for you one time, man. Let it go, Sanchez. Jamaica and muggle pan her one time, man. And that is what bond the PNP them. Them no like to see it. Them no like to see the prosperity that is happening. Them no like to see how Jamaica is flourishing and knowing that they are not the ones holding the reins of power in this country. And not holding it up. I just have one more thing for say, Labourites. We granny always tell we in life, so we must take sleep and mark death. And I said to you this evening, Labourites, the PNP, when you consider and look at them closely over recent months, they are a very arrogant and desperate bunch. And the truth of the matter is, if they are this arrogant in opposition, can you imagine if Jamaica were to suffer the misfortune of having the PNP holding the reins of office in this country again? Ian Hayes, Labourites, over in Western Westmoreland, accused a set of hard-working and trying business people of having black tanks stacked at their business place, suggesting that it was the MP that stack up tanks at the people and business place. The people operate a car wash, Labourites. And the people are enterprising, industrious and hardworking. And Ian Hayes put them at risk and didn't even have the dignity and the decency to apologize to them when the truth came to light. Bunting took to the Senate, Labourites, and misled the nation in relation to a contractor and work that was not going on at pace at the Prattville Primary and Infant School. He suggested that it was because the contractor was not paid, when not Augusta Labourites, because the contractor had been paid for every submission that he had made in relation to invoices. And Peter Bunting couldn't find it within him to apologize to that contractor. Bunting put into the universe, Labourites, something that is very destructive and dangerous. He put death and destruction in the universe in relation to the nation's children and, of course, their use of the incoming school buses come September morning. Talking about him would make Finn Pitney traveling those buses. And who him a take for fool? Who Bunting a take for fool? Finn Pitney them now for take school bus. Pitney them no need to depend on low-cost transportation because him all tap on our wrist. And our job when the elections are called is to ensure that him and him tap on our friends in Jamaica who benefited from the greatest transfer of wealth to the rich in this country do not attain state power. That is our job on election day. So when all is said and done, Labourites, we have seen a number of former PNP coming over and seeing the light, as Venesha, Phillips and Fabian Brown said earlier. So when we see Lawrence Rowe, who just came in, when we see Venesha, Phillips and Carrie Douglas and Craig Oates, Ian Miles, Garfield James, Christopher French and others, when we see those people coming over, Labourites, and telling us what they know about the PNP and Mark Golding and Peter Bunting in particular, we must accept and understand, said, guess what? When fish come from river bottom and tell we say shark down there, we must believe him. So Labourites, I'm imploring you to remain focused. I'm imploring you to know where your votes are and get out the voters on election day. And here in Northwest St. Andrew, deliver my good friend Dwayne Smith for his second term of office here in Northwest St. Andrew. Shower Labourites. I love you, Labourites.
Labourites, you have heard the message.